Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSM Wrestling Laureate podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Hope you guys had an amazing, midweek so far. We're already on Thursday. I can't believe tomorrow's already Friday. Those who work 9 to 5 jobs and who have the weekends off, get ready, get pumped up for tomorrow. Definitely wish I was one of those guys. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love where I work. It's pretty cool. When I'm not kicking ass on podcasting, talking about wrestling, I cook a little bit. I cook a little bit for a senior living facility in Temecula, California. It's beautiful. Meet a lot of cool people. You kind of become part of their family, and it's just I don't know. Working with food is it's pretty cool. It's like therapeutic, I guess you can say in a way. So, definitely. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you today lined up. We have our AEW Dynamite review. We have our Thursday Night Wrestling preview. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. We're also going to dig into a little bit of NWA's, power. We're going to, talk about the results of that. And, Segment three, we're going to talk about Jim Ross being admitted to the hospital. Sad, super sad. Love Jim Ross. Definitely one of the biggest reasons why I'm a huge wrestling fan. So, we're also going to talk about Logan Paul for our fourth segment, how he has reached officially 200 days as the WWE United States champion. So that's something to be proud of. I feel like Logan Paul is he's a huge star. I feel like he should probably get a lot more, definitely a lot more recognition than what he gets, as of right now. And to kind of cap it all off, our final segment on a Thursday, we have our Thursday Superstar Spotlight talking about the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. So make sure you stay around, just for that. It's gonna be pretty cool. But just to remind you guys once again, we get a number of questions that come in from viewers like you during the show. So to ensure that your question gets read on air, I ask you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net with your questions. Just put your questions up on top so I can see it. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you want to talk about in terms of wrestling storylines, promos, and what have nots, and et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if that was the right terminology, but yeah, just let me know how you feel. Give me a shout out. Be like, hey yo, E, this is yada 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 from Wichita, Kansas, or from Bismarck, in North Dakota, or something like that. Like, just something like that. Don't be too shy. Don't be too shy, because the podcast is a hell of a lot better when there is audience interactions. I love to know that you guys are part of the show, so it's not more or less my show. It's exactly our show. So definitely. So once again, it really does help the show, guys. Leave a positive review here at the GSMC Sports Network. We love peace, love, and positivity all the way, 1010%. And again, the link is at gsmcpodcast.net. So let's go ahead and dig on into our first segment, which is AEW Dynamite Review. All in all, the final Dynamite before Double or Nothing on Sunday, I feel like it was good. I feel like it was perfect, exactly what they needed. We kind of talked about it on yesterday about what should superstars kind of do on last night's AEW, and I actually hit a couple of them on the head. So if you want to check out that podcast, be like, oh, Eric's a genius. I'm just gonna go. No, I'm not. I'm not a self glazer. That's what you're trying to hint at. I'm a fair guy. I'm as humble as can be. Humble as apple pie, baby. Humble as apple pie. Apple pie's a little masculine. What's humble pie? What's your favorite pie? Hit it up in the tips and donations link, hit me a chat at the GSMC podcast.net. But anyways, enough talking about pie. Totally getting hungry here. It's about time for dessert. Like I said, let's talk about AEW Dynamite. So Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay teamed up against Trent Beretta and Roderick Strong. And guys, a lot of times on this podcast, I, kind of throw shade because the way Will Ospreay kind of, talked about Triple H, because Triple H was my guy, definitely on my Mount Rushmore of the best wrestlers in the business. But I have to be honest, I'm totally impressed by Will Ospreay. Really paid attention to this match. I sat my ass down. I was like, you know what? Let's watch AEW Dynamite. Not like I don't always watch Dynamite, but this time I actually, paid attention to the match more or less, more thoroughly, more, detectively. And I gotta be honest, I love Will Ospreay. I think he's an amazing wrestler. Honest to God, I think he's definitely gonna have a future with AEW in the professional wrestling industry. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to be an AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So, to be honest, I gotta be honest with my viewers, guys. I was, if I ever threw any shade or if it seemed like I was talking about Will Ospreay in like a negative, connotation, just know that I apologize. So we have Roderick Strong. I don't know. I don't think he's really in trouble because he does have the insurance policy of the Undisputed Kingdom. Obviously, that paid dividends tonight, where you had Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay building on momentum. They had the pin, but then Beretta was able to push Will Ospreay and bring up the count. And then out came, the Undisputed Kingdom, and then out came Wardlow, and Wardlow just he took out Osprey. Definitely, was a huge reason why Roderick Strong picked up that tag team victory tonight with Trent Beretta. So, definitely got to give him the, with the assists, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then you saw at the end of the match, Undisputed Kingdom absolutely kicking, kicking Will Ospreay's butt, making him bleed, busting him open, sending him a message that he will not win Roderick Strong's AEW International Championship at Double or Nothing Sunday in Las Vegas, Nevada. So definitely a huge message was sent, received, and honestly, I'm rooting for Will Ospreay. So should be pretty cool. Next, we have the a promo. You saw the Elites officially barring Darby Allin from the arena. They're in Bakersfield. They were in Bakersfield last night. And then next, you saw the Bang Bang Gang, the Unified Trio champion, come out and they basically talk crap. They came out hitting total promo heel victory, kind of, filling that void that everybody needs. Like when they wake up in the morning, like, man, I need something to be pissed off at today. It's the Bang Bang Gang. It's Switchblade Jay White and his two goons. So I think it's perfect the way that they're kind of promoting right then, the way they're kind of booking them, and the way that they're just promoting. I think it's I think it's pretty good. They have the success. They're the Unified World Trios Championship, which is the Ring of Honor six-man championship, and I don't see their reign really going anywhere just yet. But they were talking crap on the Bastard Pat, and the Bastard Pat obviously had to retaliate, of course. So then he came out. He introduced his teammates. We have the Death Triangle making their way back into AEW, and basically ran the Bang Bang Niner Gang out of the ring and ultimately like out of the arena, so to speak. So yeah, they also challenged them for a match heading toward Double or Nothing. Still kind of waiting. I know there was kind of showed the type. It showed the promo. And it showed like the graphic that they were gonna fight. But ultimately, the Bang Bang Niner Gang wants Pac and the Death Triangle to prove that they can challenge for the Unified Trios Championships, because that's it's a pretty important title. It's a huge accomplishment. You can't just like walk into somewhere and be like, hey, like I challenge you, Yamu. I'm just kidding. No, I watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh growing up. Yes, I'm a dork, and yes, I love it. All right, moving on. So next, you saw the FTW number one contenders match. This was a good match overall. You saw the Learning Tree come out with Big Bill to commentate on the match. Brian Keith, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata all put on a pretty good match, but it ultimately kind of ended up like a little, kind of a little strange, because on Tuesday, WWE NXT kind of had a double pin, which created like a triple threat match heading toward Battleground with Obafemi. And now you kind of have the double tap out. Hook, hit the red rum, and Shibata had his submission move on poor Brian Keith, man. He got the worst of that. I'll tell you who's not going to Double or Nothing. Brian Keith. So I'm just kidding. No, I was messed up. But anyways, so now we have a triple threat match. We have the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho against Shibata against Hook at Double or Nothing for the FTW Championship. So it should be pretty interesting. Next, we see Katsuke Takashita with Don Callis against Matt Sydal. This was ultimately kind of like a squash match for Takashita. It helped him build momentum to fight at Double or Nothing against John Moxley for the IWPG Championship. But Moxley came out and he tried helping Matt. He tried helping Matt Sydal after the match. Takashita wanted to beat the hell out of him, sending a message to John Moxley. Didn't have to send it too far, because right around the corner in the backstage, out came the Wild Thing. Through the crowd, where is he coming from? Where is he coming from? He could be coming from anywhere. Just know when you hear that music, when you see the side of him jumping between those ropes, you just know that business is about to pick up. So absolutely love John Moxley, 1010%. He said, and I quote, "I'll see you at Double or Nothing, a man of few words, a man that just lets all his wrestling, fighting, and actions speak for him." That's probably one of the huge reasons why I love John Moxley. That's the reason why I really loved Dean Ambrose, of the Shield when he was in WWE. So that, definitely pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Next, you saw Swerve Strickland, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, trying to build momentum against Nick Wayne. These guys have had a lot of, kind of beef in the past, but ultimately, I think Swerve controlled this match pretty well. After the match, when you saw Swerve Strickland pick up the victory, Nick Wayne, he did put up quite a, he did have a couple of, he did have a couple of hiccups that ultimately cost him the match, but he's talented. He's talented. He was able to hold his own against the AEW World Champion. So, you got to respect that. Definitely think that, Wayne has a future in AEW. Perhaps, maybe you should, fight for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. That'd be pretty dope. You know what I mean? Or go to the, maybe try fighting the FTW. Like, you don't know what's next for him. I feel like, I don't know. A lot of respect under that name. So then you saw at the end of the match, Kill Switch and the Patriarchy attacks Swerve Strickland, and I thought to myself once again, I was like, okay, great. Here comes another promo where Swerve just absolutely gets his ass kicked, and you have the fans just feeling sorry for him. But on my last podcast, I talked about the importance of Swerve Strickland needing to cut a good promo, needing to kind of stick up for himself, and kind of showing a side of brutality, kind of like what Christian Cage has done this whole entire promo. He's been absolutely ruthless. He's been bringing up his family and past accomplishments and his daughter. Like, just he brought a gun to a knife fight, man. Like, he came out guns blazing, shots shots fired, yo. So it was time for Christian Cage to get his. Sir Strickland followed him out in the parking lot and, DDT'd him on top of the white Suburban. Wanted to hit that concerto, didn't have the chance to, kind of was rooting that he would. And I know that sounds bad, Jesus, please forgive me. But Christian Cage, he deserves it. He deserves his just desserts. So yeah. Next we have Malachi Black. Malachi Black against Kyle O'Reilly. This was a really good match. I feel for O'Reilly going out there helping out his fellow Canadian wrestling superstar in Adam Copeland. Malachi Black just looks dangerous. He looks dangerous. He looks like he's totally ready for this barbed wire steel cage match at Double or Nothing for the AEW TNT Championship. Definitely gonna love that one. I think I'm gonna order it. I think I'm gonna order it. Well, I did find out that Jim Ross, is not going to be. He was supposed to announce at Double or Nothing, but after what happened, of course, his health, it's top priority. So I don't know. I would love to see Jim Ross announce again. Oh God, oh God. I feel like a lucky man whenever I do. Next, we have Mariah May teaming up with the timeless Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion, against Saraya and Harley Cameron, the Outcast. What I've kind of got from this match was I don't think Toni Storm is. I don't think she's a heel. I don't think she's your average ordinary heel. I don't think she's your baby face. She's kind of like stuck in the middle where like she's gonna do whatever she wants, and if you like it, cool. If you don't, then cool. Like it doesn't matter. She's gonna hit promo after promo. Like what I said before, she cuts good promos. Absolutely. This girl is on point, and when it's time that she has to let the wrestling do the talking for her, she shows up. She shows up every day. Collision, Dynamite, Rampage. It doesn't matter. Definitely, Timeless Tony Storm is this AEW's best women's wrestler by far. Definitely by far. So like I love the booking. I love the way she is right now. She hit Storm Zero, which kind of confused me because it was a pile driver, sit down pile driver, which was kind of banned in wrestling. But the way she kind of does it, she kind of like she doesn't get them up so high. She like lifts them up in the pile driving position and just kind of falls back, but mostly like kind of building momentum toward like the shift in her back as she's hitting that Storm Zero. So I don't think really the neck is in jeopardy for the other superstar, and I think generally genuinely she makes the move and she takes care of her other her opponents obviously. So they're in good hands. They're in good hands. We saw Serena Deeb come out, putting Tony Storm on notice, hit her in the face with a high heel, bro. Absolutely crazy. And you saw her put her in a single leg Boston Crab. Kind of I think she's gonna have a hurt leg. She's definitely gonna go into the match at Double or Nothing, probably with a knee brace or with a leg brace or something like that. And I hope she comes up. I hope she, I hope she, wins because I love, the timeless Tony Storm. I think she's badass. And I like Serena Deeb too, but she came back and all power to you. But right now, Tony Storm's just she has AEW. She has the audience. She has people are gonna buy tickets. People are gonna buy merchandise that surround the name Tony Storm. Not so much Serena Deeb. I'm not trying to throw shade at Deeb because I think all these wrestlers, in Ring of Honor, Impact, AEW, NW, what WWE, whatever. So I just respect these guys. Absolutely good. They go on the road most of the time in their lives, try to put on, good entertainment performances for the crowd. So we'll never ever talk ill of a superstar. And, purposefully, I guess you can say. I guess you can say. But sometimes a little criticism doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to be trying to be a jerk. So it's good to, bring up that distinction. All right. Lastly and finally, we have Brian Danielson against Satam Singh. And we first and foremost, Daniel Bryan is not 110%. You could totally tell. You could totally tell because the whole Will Ospreay thing and he's Brian Danielson said himself that he was sitting on the couch. He saw what was happening. He saw what happened to Khan. He saw what happened to Kenny Omega by the elites, and he realized he just can't sit and heal from his injuries. He has to go out there and he has to, represent AEW in such a positive way. And he has to kind of be that workhorse that AEW needs. And he said himself like he effing cares about this company so much. I feel like he really does carry the company on his back and in his heart. So love Brian Danielson whenever he makes a good promo. It's good. It's very, very good. But ultimately, this was kind of like one of those matches where it was kind of like a setup, not really like a match on the main card. That's why whilst AEW was kind of running out of time, I kind of saw on the clock and I was like, damn, it's already I think it's like 9:50 because it airs on the West Coast around 8. And I saw that and I was like, oh, great. This is going to be like a squash match. But no, it was actually a good match to cut good promos. It was, the ending was pretty badass. Definitely, appropriate heading toward Double or Nothing. You saw Santum, basically punch Daniel Bryan through the guitar, which was pretty bad. And you saw the EVPs, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Singh. And then the Rainmaker comes out and Jack Perry. It looked all bad for Brian Danielson. But the man that was barred from the building, bringing a flipping flamethrower, being dropped off by the AEW president Tony Khan, and he came out. He kicked ass. He kicked ass. I loved it how he brought the flamethrower. Definitely, I love that side of Darby Allin. He's a sick son of a biscuit. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what Tony Schiavone, or I think that was Taz who said that. He's like, yeah, because it's sick. Like I don't know. It was cool. It was a good promo. Definitely love the way that AEW Dynamite kind of ended and went off the air. So yeah, no, cool things to come for Double or Nothing. I want to buy it. I want to buy it. I really do. $50. So, but because I'm used to watching the WWE pay-per-views where you have it. If you have a subscription to the WWE network, well, now if you have a Peacock subscription, you can get it for free. So I don't know. It's gonna be a thinker. It's gonna be a thinker. All right. Well, hey guys, don't go anywhere. We're gonna jump right into our Thursday night wrestling preview. We're gonna talk about Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling. We're also gonna talk about NWA Power, the results from Tuesday's show. So hey, don't go anywhere.